Good morning from the Wind River Range on day 5. I am all packed up and out on the trail. I got a pretty early start. It's, I think, just before sunrise. Packed up partially in the dark and I gotta move on. I'm about a quarter of a mile in, so I haven't gone that far, but it's looking okay. I'm feeling good about getting across this plateau before the storms come in. You know, just gotta keep at it, go at a steady pace, and it'll all be good. I don't know how I feel about those clouds. Still continuing, but something to keep an eye on. Where I officially begin the ascent up to the Lizard Head Plateau, up to the first high point, which is at 11,800 feet, and then I dip down, and then it gets flat for a little bit, go up, and then down again. That ascent, so I did 2.5 miles in about an hour. It was like nothing. It was 1,600 feet of gain, I think, and it's very mild. Like, there's a bunch of switchbacks. So, all right, I'm doing it. Making good time. Nothing like a good early morning snowfield traverse. That's Lizard Head Peak, and I just reached the first high point of the plateau at 11,800, so I'm going to descend a little bit and then regain it in another 2 or 3 miles. This section of trail reminds me of Katahdin when you're coming off of the summit down towards the saddle trail and you hit the tableland, because that's kind of like a plateau. Hiking along the plateau, and I come across this, which is a camp chair. And kind of a nice one. Pretty sweet. I'm at the second high point on the plateau, and the final one. So now I will be making my way towards the descent off of this plateau, which is pretty steep from what the topographical map says. Hopefully there's no snow. I'm not convinced that looks like a lizard head. Maybe from a different angle, but not from this one. Getting a little bit of a view into the Cirque of the Towers. I think Lonesome Lake is that one right there, which I'll plan on camping at, or near, tonight. Alright, I guess if I tilt my head, it kind of looks like a lizard head. The descent off the Lizard Head Plateau is done, thankfully, because that was such a long descent I think I lost like 2,000 feet, maybe a little bit less than 2,000 feet. And I don't know how many miles, but it's tough on the knees. I'm gonna take a break in a sec. Here it is, the Cirque of the Towers. Pingora Peak is right there. And then I think Wolf's Head is that one. First time I put on the rain jacket in about 5 days. It was just, I think, a passing shower. Of course, I get my rain gear on, and not 2 minutes later, it stops. I think there will be some other passing showers, but I'm only a little over a mile from Lonesome Lake. Then I just need to do a little bit of uphill to get to where I can camp. And then the day is pretty much done. And it is, I don't think it's 10 o'clock. But I've done about 8 miles, I think. Maybe 9 miles so far. It feels really good to have gotten up and over that section of trail early today. And you know, I was worried about snow cover on the descent from the plateau. That wasn't an issue. And yeah, the only real big climb I have left is Jackass Path, which is not nearly as bad as any of the other ascents. So I'm in the home stretch. So approaching Lonesome Lake, I'm seeing some of the peaks along the Cirque of the Towers. It's War Bonnet Peak. This is Warrior Peaks. I think Pylon, Block Tower, and then I think there's like Shark's Nose and Overhanging Tower, and Pingora Peak is straight ahead. Alright, I'm gonna be camping up near Jackass Pass, or just a little bit up this trail. There's some camping options. It's a can't camp within a quarter mile of Lonesome Lake. Pingora Peak is right behind me, the big one, and the rest of the Cirque. No words. I am just searching for a campsite now. I have to be further than a quarter mile from Lonesome Lake. Shout out to the White Mountains, Lonesome Lake there. Yeah, so I'm just going up to get a campsite. It's so early in the day, like it's barely 11. So I'm gonna be hanging around for a little bit. Probably wait out a storm. It's gonna happen in probably 30 minutes maybe. That is a marmot. And it does not care that I am fairly close to it. Not a bad view from the campsite. Oh yeah. Check this other side. Plus I got a friend with me. Don't eat any of my stuff. Alright, time to get in the tent because I actually saw some hail, and I'll wait out this storm and then explore a little bit more. Like clockwork, the storm has passed and it's nice out. So it doesn't look like it's going to storm again for the time being. So I'm just gonna dry some stuff out and do some exploring. I might climb up a little bit closer to some of these towers behind me. Let's see if I can get some cool views. Also set up my new camp chair. It's pretty comfortable. I don't think I would bring it backpacking, but a nice to have. Past few days I've seen these spiders that like live in the Alpine. They make these crazy webs, connect like the boulders. Pretty sweet. Camera's probably not picking it up really good. Scrambling up to a small lake that's just beyond right over there. I'm just passing all these massive boulders. It's like kind of crazy. Some cool like places you could take shelter over here, like under that one. Thought it'd be fun to circle this lake, and this has been kind of a challenge because it's huge boulders and there's like big cracks between each of them and snow, and it's been fun. That was really awesome. There's a lot of like, felt like canyoneering, where I was like bouncing on the rocks, and couldn't film any of it because it would be impossible, but it was a lot of fun. So after tomorrow, I will have broken my record for days backpacking. Previously, it was at 4 days, 3 nights, and now it will sit at 6 days, 5 nights, which is a lot of time. It's nearly a week out in the woods, but I really wouldn't have wanted to do this trip any other way. And I'm really glad that I stuck with it. I was considering cutting it short when I was planning this, based on how it went with the long trail, which was my training hike for this, which destroyed me. But I'm really glad that I stuck with it. Ending this backpacking trip with a banger. It's probably one of the best backpacking meals. That's a wrap on day 5 in the Wind River Range. Tomorrow, day 6, will be my last day. I have 1 pass and about 8 miles to hike till I'm back in my car. See you in the morning.